Hey guys, welcome back to Frenemies. I'm Ian, and we are back finally with the Punisher. Well, finally to me, but well, you guys have had it back since I guess technically 2 weeks ago. But this is my first time actually picking up Punisher. Since well, I uploaded whenever I last uploaded 4. Was it? No, 5. Sorry, Jesus, can't even remember what I did. Apologize for that. Yeah, I was doing too much at once, and I was overworking. I was burning out really quick, so I do apologize for that for those that actually enjoyed the Punisher videos. But yeah, last episode was dealing with billionaires who are getting ready to rob a bank. You know, they're planning everything out. They're doing what's the word I'm looking for? Test runs, making sure they're proficient and using the time before I guess police arrive. And then one of the guys, Jake, is a meth addict, I believe is what he was. He's going through withdrawals, so he snuck away in the morning. Well, at night he snuck away to get some, and that's when Frank and Curtis grabbed him. God, and Frank stabbed him to the hand. Jesus Christ. Ugh. Then there was a bit with before there was that part with Billy. I'm spacing. I'm sorry, guys. Billy, and I think her name is Karen. Karen. Uh-oh. I think it had an M in the name. This is gonna piss me off. I'm sorry. I kept wanting to say Madani and then Mahoney, which I know that's not right. Dumont. Okay. Sorry. I had. They all have D's in their names. Yeah, there was that odd sex scene with. I mean, they're taking both of them, I think, pleasure in their old, like the pain from like their old scars or the memory. I don't really know exactly because, again, it has been a minute since I've watched that episode. At this point, I haven't edited episode 7 yet. But I remember like he had touched the scars on her legs, and then she grabbed his hand and put it made him like really dig his fingers into the one on her back, I believe. And that was, I don't know. And it's an old scar. Like it doesn't seem like a fresh scar, so I mean, I don't think that she's supposed to be actually feeling pain in that, like in the actual skin. So maybe it's more like I don't know. I'm not sure. I wasn't saying like the memory of it is like causing it to psychologically almost feel the pain and then deriving pleasure from that. I don't know. It was a very interesting scene. But yeah, and then he left because he didn't want to. He doesn't want to cause her more trouble than she's already basically put herself in. I mean, she didn't exactly put herself in that what's the word? Situation. She could have called the police, but he showed up at her place in the first place. She's not making the best of choices. Going back to the Billy stuff, you know, he's robbing the bank. I think is what he's robbing. This old lady, I forgot her name, but yeah, she wasn't letting him in, which I gotta give her credit for having the courage for that. But then she's also putting the people outside of the door thing that's keeping him out in danger. So I mean, that's kind of, I don't know. But then Frank shows up at the end after they're getting away, or while they're getting away, and then I remember that he has his jacket, he has his Punisher vest underneath the Jake's jacket. I think Frank had time to act before everybody started shooting at him. And I know he wanted to like to put fear in Billy and to see him go through the pain of remembering all that or whatever. But I just feel like he should have at least shot at him, maybe not to kill him if he's not wanting to kill him yet, but maybe like shoot him to cripple him or something. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they got away. I think we're chasing them. Yeah, I think we're left off that. Man. Yeah, that's pretty much the whole recap for me. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump into this next episode. Did you just remember everything? Oh, Jesus. Hi. That's a gun. Oh, crap. Is it one bullet?
You do this to me? You goddamn right I did!
But he doesn't know why. Did you get him at all? Dang it. Frank, you don't have any more bullets, dude. Did he not fire it? I thought he did. Oh, he's... Oh, crap, Mahoney.
Drop the gun, Frank! Drop it! It's been a while, Frank. Sir, I'm gonna need you to let him go now.
Curtis,
Who
no!
the hell are you?
I apologize.
For what?
Sorry. Oh, God. Yep, for that.
Let's move! This jigsaw face bastard almost got us busted. This whole thing went sideways because you lost your shit.
Screw all this. Let's just split it.
Oh, what the?
Yeah, how long you think it's gonna take for them to figure out who Frank Castle's one-legged black friend is, huh?
I hate to say this, Kurt, but there is somebody else, you know.
Screw you.
Man,
Screw you.
Look, I got a bunch of them. What do you want? You know what I mean? Got a bunch of black one-legged friends. I mean, I have what I have. You know?
That's a lie. That's a lie.
You're the only one for me, Curtis. When I drew on him, you were shocked, you know? It was like he was hurt. You know, he's all confused, like I had betrayed him. I'll tell you right now, Kurt, he does not know what he did. He doesn't. I saw that. And I had the shot. And I froze. It was just for a second, but then it was too late, you know?
Where have you been?
It doesn't matter.
It looks like it matters what's in the bag.
It doesn't matter. None of it matters. All this was Frank Castle. Every night coming at me. It was him. It was him, but I couldn't see. Why would he? Why would he do that? Why would he do any of it? I don't understand. I don't understand. I mean, I know now that it was him, but I don't feel it. I mean, I know, but I don't know. I mean, here, but not here. And he was my best friend.
Oh. Oh, I can think.
What are you doing? You out of your mind? Frank! You think it's a game?
No.
How about now? Frank? You know how quick it would have been? That's your head all over that wall. Just like that. You quit. You what? You what?
I was just practicing the movie show.
Nah, bullshit! Bullshit! Trying to keep you safe, you're gonna get yourself killed? You quit your goddamn crime! God damn it! Enough!
The goddamn keys, Curtis.
Are you gonna shoot me if I don't?
Your funeral.
I want to come.
No.
Frank, But you're coming back, right?
We aren't friends, or even colleagues with a mutual beneficial working relationship. Mostly you've hidden stuff, lied, and shot me. Give me some respect, huh? I know he was at that carousel. And Castle's got a friend. Big black guy. Ring any bells? No, huh? I want Castle. Russo, too. Where is he? Where? That doesn't work.
Castle, he doesn't know.
Where is he? Where? Oh, is that hurt?
What the hell's wrong with you? Look at yourself. You're acting just like Billy.
You almost had me. Letting me in. Protecting me from the world, trying to make me better. You played me, Krista.
If I can't trust Frank, I can't trust anybody! How did they make him hate me?
5 blue things. Count 5 blue things in the room. Stop.
How does that feel?
Do you think it's so scary to think that I might have love for you? To think that maybe you can change?
Curtis. No.
Shit! Hey, it's me, Kid Curtis! God damn it!
This is just scraps.
Is that all that you want? Are you willing to be a part of something bigger than just yourselves? Bobby didn't get that. Made it all about himself. We invest this money in weapons, in people. We go and we find all those guys who we know are just like us, and we offer them a piece of the same.
I don't think he meant those things he said to you. You scared him because he thought he hurt you.
He nearly shot me because he cares about me? Yeah, that's the Frank I know. Very touchy-feely.
Well, I've known Frank for a long time. And there's one thing for sure. He cares about you.
You're right.
Yeah.
Whoa. Is she for real?
Oh, you best believe she is.
Oh, man.
Gone so long, stepped out of the woods. Well, I was misunderstood, but in light of it all, well, I sit back and check their disguise.
Yesterday, I was the guy selling insurance.
Got lost in
I just want my old life back.
Amen to that.
Are you going to give him up?
Well, I guess that's what we're all sitting here waiting to find out.
their primed plastic phones built in the heat of the night. So I step, Lord, disappear.
Now, a lot of these shows, especially the ones that are like 45 minutes and up, very difficult to edit down. And then there are there are certain episodes that are much more difficult to edit than others. This one I feel like is gonna be one of those episodes. Man, that like the beginning off the bat was just like, obviously we ended last episode with the chase, like right like in the middle of the chase, so you'd have to pick up, you know, during the chase. And then it was showing Billy, you know, having an episode after seeing Frank, and he pieced together like that he's the reason, like his face is because of Frank. Like what happened to his face was, you know, Frank caused it. He doesn't know. I think he saw exactly like what happened. He got flashes of like what exactly he did to him, and so he knows now, but he doesn't remember it exactly. Like he knows that he did it, but he doesn't quite remember it. So he doesn't remember what he did to him. He doesn't remember that he led to Frank's family being killed. That was a heavy episode. Like, I mean, most of the Punisher usually is, but it's like this one, emotionally so, was a little bit more than usual, I guess. I don't know. Because Punisher, again, usually is pretty heavy, both emotionally and just brutally. But like the bit with one, there's so many bits. Like the part alone, the part with Billy freaking out afterwards, like when he makes it to Kristen or Kirsten, I think it's Kristen, to Dumont's place when after she lets him back in, he breaks down, explaining, you know, that he knows it now, but he doesn't feel that's like Frank, that he did that to him. Like he can't cope with it. He can't quite accept it. Like he knows, but he can't accept it because it's just like he doesn't remember a lot. Apparently from like that he got connected or that he got in with these corrupt people, and that he led to Frank's family being killed. I don't know what happened there. All you're kind of has is that Frank messed up his face and tried to kill him, or he pointed a gun at him. Anyway, he didn't. I mean, he doesn't know that Frank froze, but still, he sees Frank pointing a gun at him at that part. So he just feels betrayed. He feels hurt. He doesn't understand why Frank's doing what he's doing and why he did what he did before. And then in that, Frank saw that like on his face, and he couldn't shoot. Like that kind of like seeing that the confusion and the pain and the sense of betrayal on Billy's face, that hit him, and he froze when he had the shot. Which I guess I thought he had shot. Maybe I missed that. Maybe I just thought because of the bullets that were flying that Billy shot at him, I just thought that he took the shot. But I guess he didn't. He froze for a second, which was long enough for Billy to, you know, fire at him with that SMG. Not SMG. Sorry, not an SMG. God, what's it called? I forgot what it's called. I'm sorry. I know it's not an SMG. I apologize. Another thing involving Billy and Dumont is obviously that part where he flips that on her, thinking she's been playing him, and then he puts her against the window, and that's just, God, I hated seeing that scene. Like, I felt terrible for her, and it's just like, I was very worried for her. Like, I wasn't sure. Like, I thought maybe before putting her against the window, I thought maybe he would kill her, or at least attack her. And then when he put her against the window, I was worried that he was like gonna throw her through the window. But she ends up telling him that she loves him. And that kind of, she's, you know, lets him know. Really, she says that she kind of asks if he's afraid that she might love him. That kind of sort of snapped him out of it. That was a intense, emotional scene, and not action packed, but you know, a lot of him throwing stuff around, breaking things, and he punched the wall. And then there was that, you know, obviously she was being traumatized, you know, being forced against the window. She still held him afterwards. I was worried there too. I thought maybe like he thought she was still playing him, and then he would like stab her or shoot her or something. But I mean, it cut away. Maybe he did, but I don't think so. But we'll see next episode next week. But man, that was intense. And then I knew it was gonna be bad, but I didn't know it was gonna be that bad. Whenever Amy was, you know, she threw the ball. I didn't know she was gonna go for the whole, tried to take the gun away. But seeing one thing, there's a lot of stuttering there. One thing that she should have realized, one of the many things, is that she's seen Frank, work, right? Hasn't she? Pretty sure she has. Yeah, she has. Someone who's being jumped suddenly would cause, they have the reflexes, they have that was just a very risky, I don't want to say stupid, but it wasn't her brightest, it wasn't the smartest move she could make. And she didn't know that he was worked up and what they were dealing with, but like not exactly. Like she knew he was going after Billy, so she kind of should have realized maybe he was still in that feeling the adrenaline or something, or probably the emotion, because of angry and confused a little bit, I think, with himself, like not sure. Well, he knows why he froze, but like just the fact that he froze, that's probably, he's dwelling on that a bit. So she doesn't know all that he's dealing with, but I still feel terrible for like what happened. Like he throws her, like he freaking throws her to the floor, and then he points the gun and shoots it like near her, and yelling at her and telling her that it wasn't a game, that it's not a game, and just getting on a case like crazy. Like he blew up immensely. I do not think that she should have done what she did, but I do think he went a little far in that regard. He's dealing with a lot from having missed his opportunity to take out Billy, knowing why he froze. Like that's just, and the way Frank is in general, like he's got a temper. It's just the way Frank is, and the way he deals with things, the way he kind of keeps a lot of things in, all that. It didn't just end with Amy. Obviously, too, he carried it over when he was dealing with Jake, and obviously Frank doesn't know, or not Frank, sorry, Jake doesn't know where Billy is gonna be next. Like the beating he's taking, he told Frank where Billy was gonna go, like their plan to start the bank. So why the fact that he wouldn't be telling him where he is now is, I mean, he even said like whenever Jake said he doesn't know where Billy is, Frank just goes and says it's not good enough, and he continues to beat the living day out of him. And Curtis even pulls him off, and he tells him, look at yourself, which sparked the whole thing with Billy from that we saw last season. I guess he's feeling lost, maybe. I don't know the right, unsure, and he's angry about that. Angry the fact that he's angry that he missed this opportunity to kill Billy. He's angry that he's unsure of himself, I guess, or the situation, or what he's gonna do. That was a heavy moment. That, like, at the end, even though it was kind of getting somber, when it was a calmer ending than it was last episode, it was heavy. It was heavier. After Frank got on Amy's case, I was kind of thinking that she'd want to stay away from him, that she'd be freaked out. Well, she was. She crawled into a corner afterwards, but then when he was leaving, she, was saying that asking if he would be coming back, and she didn't want him to stay to leave her there alone. I'm glad that she's not totally scared of him where that kind of what they've built between them hasn't been like shaken too much. Because I have liked what they've built between them, and Curtis sees too that Frank does care for her. Like he was even saying that what she did when she tried to practice the disarming thing. Curtis was saying that he was worried that he could have hurt her. He could have shot and killed her. So I mean, that's what I was worried about. I didn't think he would have. I thought he maybe would have injured her. I didn't think he would have killed her. But like, yeah, it's different when you're with an empty gun. But she knew this wasn't an empty gun. So, I mean, even if he didn't flip out the way he did. Like the gun could have been a misfire. Like maybe he could have accidentally pulled the trigger when she was yanking on it. And I don't know. I felt bad. I just felt bad, and I know Frank, even though he's not like dealing with it in the way most people would, I know he feels terrible for what he did and what he could have done. He's dealing with that in a very frank way. He's angry. I mean, most people would have been angry if that had happened, and for multiple reasons. You know, the fact that it could have hurt or killed the person who was practicing. Like if it was someone's kid and they tried that and they had a loaded gun, that person they'd have been scared that they could have injured or killed their kid. So yeah, that's something that is understandably someone get upset about. But it's just the way, I don't know. I think, but Frank obviously went a bit too far. I'm going into that again. I'm sorry. I gotta. It was just a lot. It was a heavy episode. Oh, and now Mahoney saw Curtis, and Curtis also took a shot at Mahoney. God dang it. Curtis was essentially in the clear up until that point. Now he's leveraging Curtis for Frank and Billy. Well, Frank. And Mahoney also figured out that the hostage was working with Billy and the crew. I don't remember. Was he with them originally? I don't remember. Like in the other, before they robbed the place? I'm trying to, or did they like contact the guy and they said that they would split the money with him? I don't remember. Mahoney's a good detective though. You can't really blame Madani for thinking of giving up Frank. I mean, she did bring him here in the first place, so it's not her fault exactly. But I mean, it kind of is. He wouldn't have known otherwise. So it's kind of her fault that he's here. But yeah, Mahoney's trying to get. Again, he's using. He wants to use Curtis's leverage, so he knows Madani's connected with Frank, and so I don't know if she's like gonna convince Frank or if she's gonna like, because she told Curtis about like the fact that Mahoney showed up and is saying that he'll possibly let what Curtis did slide, and just as long as they give Frank up, and then he's gonna get Billy too. She's not a bad person, so like if this doesn't necessarily deserve what would happen if Mahoney unveiled whatever's going on, whatever the stuff they're hiding at Homeland. Hey, Jesus. I completely forgot what they were called. But yeah, Madani's telling him, like, she basically told him about everything that she was hiding before. Just not the whole, like, not the details that Homeland's still trying to keep secret. So and she told him that if he tries to, not necessarily her, but Homeland is gonna basically screw up his career and demote him and like way down. I don't know what, like, if she doesn't give a Frank, like, what could he do then? Because he can't exactly, because she said, I mean, Homeland's not gonna want that to happen, so they're gonna do something to screw him over. Like, what was he planning on? I'm not really sure. Did he say? I might have missed what his plan was on that, but I feel bad for Curtis though. Like the girl that he's been seeing, thinks that he's a dirtbag or something. Like he's lying to. Well, he's been lying to her about the infestation at his place or whatever, and so she found out about that, and so she thinks he's been lying, and like she's not sure. Like I guess like what he's been hiding. I'm not sure what sparked that. Maybe just because he hasn't been around. Did he not come back the other night? I mean, I think it's like whatever when he left. Wasn't it the same day? No, it wasn't, was it? So he hasn't come back in a bit. So I guess that's probably why she started looking into. I think he came back to the hotel because I think he told her that he was gonna come back. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, they did a stakeout to get Jake. And so yeah, he never showed up at the hotel. So she probably thought he was like standing her up or ditching her. And then that's what she asked about the rat thing, his neighbors and stuff. So I feel bad for Curtis, man. He can't really, like, he can, but one or two things, she won't believe him, or two, she won't want to have anything to do with him afterwards, or she will, accept it and still want to be with him, but that would put her in danger, maybe. Oh, I hope Madani can tell, because Mahoney told Madani about the hostages working with Billy, so hopefully she'll tell Curtis, because he thinks the hostage was an actual hostage, and he's blaming his death on him. He's blaming the hostage's death on himself because of the fact that he didn't take the shot with Billy. So I hope she tells him about that, so he at least have that off his conscience. Dude, I thought for a second that Amy was going to accidentally kill Curtis. I would have been so upset. I mean, I can't be upset. I would not necessarily upset with her because she didn't know, and Frank did tell her if it's not, if he's not there and he doesn't call her name or something, then to shoot, because obviously she's in a dangerous situation with these other guys coming after her. But I mean, I would have been so upset if Frank or if Jesus, I can't say the name, if Curtis had been killed. What a way to go! Bringing an accidental someone accidentally shooting you because they thought that you were somebody else. A part of me was thinking that he would be either killed or that he would have been seriously injured. But luckily he had to tie his shoes first, so she barely missed him. Also, oh yeah, I just remembered what I was trying to say. Also, she really shouldn't be wearing or using two headphones with the situation she's in. I'm surprised I don't know how she heard in the first place. Because it sounded like the music was pretty loud. But you should, I wouldn't have recommended using headphones at all, considering I'd be like the paranoia that you'd be dealing with. Cause she was pretty paranoid before. She thought that Frank was, like, the first time we met, saw her in the first episode. She was looking at Frank like he was. She was thinking Frank was looking at her or something. But anyway, she's using two headphones. I wouldn't think someone who has been paranoid, or who should be paranoid, because she has reason to be paranoid, should wear two headphones. Like at the very most, if you want to listen to music on headphones, one headphone. But I wouldn't recommend using headphones at all, or listen to music. I would want it as quiet as possible so that I could hear if someone's sneaking up. And the last thing I have down that I haven't already mentioned is Billy's basically rebuilding what he had before. Essentially, he's talking. The rest of the crew that are still alive, he's talking to them. He's like he gave the money. He hadn't taken anything out of it, and said if for those that don't want to stay, for those that don't want to stay and don't want more, go ahead and take what you want, because there's nothing else you can do for them. Or they can, for those that want to stay, they can invest the money into the weapons, more people, essentially, they get more people to get bigger scores. Said 10 times or 100 times, I don't know what he said, but basically, building up what he had before, the money he had, the company he had. I don't think he's going a different. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be the same, obviously, because they're stealing the money instead of having a bunch of people paying them for their services and whatnot. Like, if he can build, that's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be much more dangerous if he can do that soon. Because then there's the police that is gonna be difficult for them to deal with. Frank can have an issue. I mean, you don't want to underestimate Frank. I mean, he's taken out a lot of people before. I don't know. This is just bad. This is just spelling bad everywhere. Not everybody's mentioned, or how, like, I know last episode, Curtis wants, stated at the end, like near the end, that he wants his old life back. I think Minda did too. But this episode, Amy mentioned it, how she wants her life back too. So everybody's like, obviously, she like had the least amount of experience, like Curtis and Frank, when they served together at least. And then he also dealt with with Billy last season, as Madani did too. She's also had other stuff, dealt with other stuff. But Amy's just a kid. She's the least amount of experience. Everybody's feeling the stress of what the heck this crap brought to them. But yeah, this is a. I said it already, but this was a heavy episode. Like action, like super action at the beginning, super action packed at the beginning, and then just kind of like emotion packed. I guess I don't know the right term. I can't think of it, but like it was intense. Emotionally, it was intense, and again heavy. I don't know what else how to explain what like the both. I guess meltdown for Frank. The meltdown he had on Amy, not the meltdown. No, the way he flipped on Amy and Billy's breakdown, and then him freaking out on Dumont, and then at the end with Frank visiting his wife and just kind of sitting there and I almost teared up at that part. Like it's probably silly, but I almost teared up at the part. It was a lot this episode. But yeah, guys, that's it for this week's episode of The Punisher. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to check out the rest of our stuff, go ahead and click the button right next to me. And if you want to stick around for next week's episode, go ahead and click the subscribe button. And if you want to be notified whenever our videos come out, go ahead and click the bell icon down below. Again, guys, that's it. Thanks for joining, and hope to see you next week.